Well, here we are. Saturday. October 22nd, 2022. My name is Larissa. It's my video diary. There's a wet spot on the bedspread over here. You see that? That better be licky, drooly drool and not pee-pee. I think I need to change the sheets today and wash the bedding. That's gross. It's probably licky lick. He hasn't peed on the bed. He only did that one time, and it was when he was a brand new puppy. Like, he first came to live with us. I put him on the bed to take photos. He peed on the bed. It wasn't this bed. Oh. I need some grease on my back. A fat girl needs some grease on her back. I have some exciting news that I can't talk about. I do. I have some exciting news that I can't talk about yet. Very excited. Trying not to be. I'm trying not to be excited about it. Because I've had too many bummers. Is that song? Hot girl bummer, fat girl bummer, fat girl bummer. Oh, Warriors losing last night. It's that Golgotha. That Golgotha and that big pirogue. They got that Golgotha. That Golgotha. He's a slipper sucker. He is. That Golgotha. He's the place of the skulls. It's where they crucified Jesus. Golgotha. Bones. Them bones, them bones, them dry bones, them bones, them bones, them dry bones. Oh my God, Bones. Imagine. How'd you get that name, Bones? Is that your given name? Come out. You all skinny. You skinny baby. And your mom said, oh, he's nothing but Bones. I'm going to call him Bones. Better than Boner. Golgotha. I'll call you Golgotha. The big pirogue. His teddy bear hair. He actually looked like my Uncle Pete. He do. Look like my Uncle Pete. With the stinky feet. Killed the bear. With the teddy bear hair. I rubbed his head and it all fell out. I want to clean the floor today so I can do yoga tomorrow morning. Floor is gross. Brody? Brody, are you in here? Brody is a big hairball. And I don't understand because it's not the right time of year for this. So when I was a girl, when I was growing up, we had a border collie, Boofy. Boofy was long hair. There's long hair, short hair border collie. She was a long hair too. And they get this undercoat, right? Not all dogs have an undercoat. Border collies, that particularly long hair ones, get an undercoat. And it is like, it's like a quilting bat, right? And it just like comes out in fistfuls of fur. You want to talk about festival of fur? We're having a furnado in our house right now. And I can sweep the floor every day and get a sweater. There's this woman, or used to be this woman, out in Bodega, right? The town of Bodega. Not Bodega Bay, in the town of Bodega, which is before Bodega Bay, right? Town of Bodega. She had a little shop, and she sold knit sweaters, or it was sweaters, hats, and was it like fingerless gloves that she used to crochet out of yarn that she made from her border collies. You get a dog fur hat because that is how much. Like border collies, you could have a herd of them. I don't think they would hurt each other. Oh my gosh. You can get a bunch of border collies and treat them like sheep. Oh my god, the hair. The hair. But usually it all comes out in the spring, right? I don't know why it's all coming out now. Because it's getting colder. Like usually with Boofy, this is the time of year that the furs would start to fill in. But Brody, he's just like poofing hair everywhere. Poof, poof. He's got these tufts hanging off his ass, and he doesn't want anybody. You just pet him, you get a handful of hair. Oh my god! So I gotta get that hairs. I get them hairs up off the floor. I was wondering. Ask the my new eyelash lady if she can glue my hairs to my eyelashes. Like, is that something that's possible? She did a nice job. They're not like out of control. The place I was going before, it looked like I had a dust broom on my face. Looked like Anthony Davis. No, Anthony Davis is a good looking man. And I don't think he has fake eyelashes. I think he got real ones. Him and his unibrow. Which, you know, I would look ridiculous with an unibrow. But he rocks it. He does. He rocks those arches. And his twists, his licorice twists that he's got now, instead of that big old heavy mop that he had going on. Oh my gosh, you see how long his hairs are? I was right. His head was so heavy. He had so much hair. It was so dense. Boom. You put in twists. It looks real nice. He got licorice twists. And Kelly got a new hairdresser. Their hairs are looking better. No, do that marshmallow peep hair. Don't do that. Don't do the marshmallow peep hair. Oh my gosh. When they did that to Kyle Kuzma, he looked ridiculous. The Kusa Lagoopa he playing for the Wizards still. They got big pointy hats. Washington Wizards. They wear pointy hats. Dance around a campfire at night. Washington Wizards. They stir a cauldron. They got crystal balls. They got mountain oysters. Him and the crispy pork sausages. Crispy pork sausages. He get his armpits waxed. He's like a hairless wonder, isn't he? He really is. He looked like he could be a big old earthworm. Crispy pork sausage. Oh, I think I figured out what was making my face itch. In the dining room in particular, I had all those marigolds on the altar. Well, they were molding. The marigolds were molding, and I had a big bouquet of them at the bottom of the stairs. All moldy. All moldy. It was gross. It stunk. I cleaned them out yesterday. Got rid of it. And there's been less face itching since. Got that mold out of the house. It was mold. I mean, it was like, not a little bit. It was like baseball clumps of mold. Yuck. Ugh. So, Mr. Elon Musk, you're going to lay off 75% of Twitter. I think it's a good idea. I do. Twitter is like out of control. Somebody saying, "Oh, who's going to moderate? No, it's going to hurt Twitter. Make Twitter." I'm like, who's been moderating? Seriously. Like, there's a cultural issue, right? With that company. My question is, what's going to be his criterion for keeping people? Where are all those people going to go? It's a lot of people in San Francisco to lose a job at one time. Twitter twatter. Oh, Twitter irritates me. What happened to me on Twitter? Yeah, I refuse to go back. Even though they say, "Oh, you're not banned anymore." I'm like, I don't care. I don't want your product. That was terrible. That's what I do with Facebook. I haven't used Facebook in over 10 years. And I refuse to use any of Zuckerberg's products. Like, knowingly. I don't use Instagram or any of that shit. I don't want any Facebook subsidiaries after all the bullshit on Facebook. That was not a good experience for me. I left the platform. My grandma Rose and I used to make faces at each other. We did. We'd make faces at each other. We'd make sounds. We'd hiss at each other. We had our own little language, right? That's why after she had her stroke, I was still able to talk to her because we had our own language. Mm-hmm. We did. We used to make faces. She could only make faces with half her face after a stroke. But I knew. I knew what face she was trying to make. I knew. We had a whole language. Like we could have a whole conversation just with our eyebrows. Mm-hmm. We used to sit and do that to each other for hours. Just talk like that. Mm-hmm. That was long before she had her stroke. So after she had her stroke, she and I knew how to talk. It was such a relief when she finally passed away. I cried, but not because of sadness. That was just like an emotional release. Like, there's so much. And it was so, my family was so rude to me about that. Like, I wasn't crying because, oh, Grandma Rose is gone. Like, I was relieved that she was in so much discomfort for so long. Like, for me, it was just like, oh my God, everything that I've been holding on to with that relationship. Like growing up, that was so traumatic. Like back and forth between my families, my both sides of my family, right? It was always like, who do you like more? I was the first grandchild on my dad's side, and I was the first granddaughter on my mom's side, and there was like always this tug of war. And I spent a lot of time with both of my grandparents when I was real little because my dad worked on the railroad during the day and he went to school at night, and my mom worked in an office. She worked at Coppers. And so I spent a lot of time with either sets of grandparents, and I'd spend time with them weeks at a time, like a week at one, a week at the other, kind of thing. They had me all the time, and there was just a lot of turmoil and fighting in my house, and uh, I had to do a lot of placating. And my grandma Rose and my mom did not get along. And there was fighting that happened there, and we ended up not talking to my dad's family for many years. And when I was a senior in high school, I went over to see them. It was the first time I'd seen them in 4 years. Yeah, it was like 4 or 5 years. I was in eighth grade. I was in eighth grade when we quit talking. It was the summer between seventh and eighth grade. It was the summer between seventh and eighth grade when there was the big blowout fight, and my grandma kicked me out of the house. She told me to leave because she said my mother was poisoning me against her. She's poisoning her against me. Because I said to her, I said, why don't you like my mom? That's what I asked. My dad was standing right there. I said, why don't you like my mom? My grandma Rose yelled at my dad, she's poisoning her against me. She said, get out of my house. And I left. I ran next door to Mrs. Hitson's house, And I called over my Auntie, Mom, and Pappy's house, and my mom came and got me, and my grandma Rose. My dad never came looking for me. He just stayed in the house fighting with his mom, and he was all upset. My mom was mad at my dad because he didn't come after me. He stayed in the house. And then there was nothing but fighting at home after that, after we got back to Michigan. I remember as soon as we got home, it was the afternoon. The day we got home was the afternoon. It's like around 1 o'clock. I called my buddy Steve Korzeniewski. He came over on his dirt bike, and I got on his handlebars. Oh no, I was standing on the pegs of his bike. That's what it was. I eventually got on the handlebars. I was standing on the back pegs of his bike, and I had my arms around his waist or around his shoulders, or whatever. We were riding down, and my leg hit the wheel, ripped open my leg. And he was like, "Oh my God!" He's like, "Get on the handlebars!" And then I sat on the handlebars. Ogre. I told him everything that happened. He's like, "That's crazy." I'm like, "I know." We went up to the pond. There was a pond up at the upper part of the neighborhood that was closer to where he lived. Went up to the pond, threw rocks in the pond. He never kissed me. We were just friends. I think he wanted to kiss me. He was real mad when Trevor kissed me. And then I didn't talk to either of them anymore. Then they both picked on me. They chose each other. Yeah, they're best friends. What do you expect? Oh, I really need some Tiger Balm on my right back, the back of my right hip. Wait until after I shower to do that. Because if I shower, I'll just wash it off. If I put it on there and then get in the shower, then I'm just going to wash it off. Maybe Omar. Maybe Omar will rub some in me. I don't know. I always have to ask, and I always feel bad because, he does it as fast as he can, and then he goes washes his hands because I don't. He doesn't like rubbing stuff on me. It's like a chore. Big fat nasty girl. I guess it would be a chore to rub something on me, huh? So I got to pay somebody to give me a massage. No, it's a therapeutic massage. It is not a kinky massage because I live with a very, very, very high amount of chronic pain. I have a very high level of chronic pain. I totally get how people become opiate addicts. I get it. I'm allergic to opiates. They make me itch. They make me twitchy. They make me have hallucinations. I can't take them, right? But if I could tolerate them, I'd take them all the time, I'm sure. Because it's nice it's nice to be pain free, or relatively so. It's like getting a massage, and he got down real deep to where the pinch is, I could feel everything open up, and there was sensation, everything was clear, and there was blood going up to my head. And it's like just for a moment, because I was relaxed and I had my eyes closed, and he's working, and got relieved, and all of a sudden it was just like all clear, and my eyes shot open. I was like, I said, and now there's blood to my brain. And he goes, whoa. He goes, that's deep. I'm like, I know. He had his thumb down in there. He's like, wow. I'm like, yeah, I have a lot of pain. I just try to be real careful. I don't want to end up like Sheila. All right. Oh my God. So I made those yellow peas and greens last night on the barbecue. They were so good. Oh my God. Kalena, you looked real nice in your gray suit and your pink shirt. You did, baby. You looked real nice. You growing that little beard out. You look real nice. And Bob Fitzpatrick, you look like the Gerber baby. You looked real cute. I wanted to pinch your cheeks and feed you yellow peas. Bob Fitzpatrick, he had gel in his hair. It's all coiffed. And Kareth Burke, you look like a solid gold dancer. Oh my goodness gracious. I thought you were going to break out into show tunes and shake your boobies all over the place. Shake it. Shake it, Kareth. Shake it. I wanted to see her give a good shimmy. She got some big ones. They're not as big as mine, but they're big. You got at least grapefruits, if not pomelos. Oh my Lord. And we had cake. We did. We had cake. It was good. Oh my God. Pain is shooting down the back of my right leg right now. Maybe Omar will use the bongers and beat my leg for me. I got these like rubber balls. They look like timpani strikers, right? I call them the bongers. He beats my ass with them. I need a good beating. It's not funny. He does. He bongs me all over. Bong, 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 bong. And I groan. It feels good. It does. It feels good. I got tipsy last night. I did. Everybody in the club getting tipsy. That Keek the Snake, he always got some gruff look on his face in the photos on it from his songs. Keek the Snake. Looked like he gonna bite somebody. I had crazy dreams last night. I did. I had crazy fucking dreams last night. Dreamt that I talked to this giant black a cane corso. This cane corso was in this like dome, and there was this guy sitting in front of, and I thought he was talking to another guy, right? Like, and I get up there, and it's this big black cane corso. Talking to this black cane corso in my dream. Those are big dogs. They are big dogs. And there's like this big party going on. There are all these people, and people were eating cake. That's because I ate that cake last night. And people were eating cake at this party. Oh, that cake is so good. There's one more piece in the freezer. One more piece. It was chocolate. I grated a dark chocolate Tony Chocolonely bar. That's what I did. Grated a dark chocolate Tony Chocolonely bar. And I put, was it blackberries in that cake? It was blackberries. Blackberries or raspberries in that cake batter. And coconut. And I put frosting on it. Really good. Fat girl loves cake. Anyway. I gotta do something about that.